If you're feeling overwhelmed because year end is here and you haven't gotten started yet on your fundraising campaign, I'm here to let you know that there are things you can start doing right now to make sure your year end fundraising campaign is a success, and we're going to dig into it together. Hi, I'm Karen Elizabeth Bryant, fundraising strategist and coach, and I'm here to help you raise more money, build better donor relationships, and not burn out in the process. Yes, the big organizations started their year-end fundraising campaign planning in April and May, but I'm here to tell you that there is no reason why you can't get started now and have a successful year-end fundraising campaign. I've been there with you. As the only development staff at a small nonprofit in my past, my to-do list was 1,000,000 miles long. I didn't have time to get started in April and May. I was barely struggling to get started in August and September. So let's dig in to 6 things that you can do right now to make sure your year-end fundraising campaign is a success and that you raise all that money that your board and your executive director are expecting. Number 1, open Excel and create a digital communications calendar. If you're lucky enough to have texting capabilities too, add that in. But you're going to want to make sure that from now until the year end, your donors are hearing from you at least once a month with a story of impact with no asks for support. This is just letting people on your email list, both people giving and people who maybe haven't made a gift yet, letting them know what your organization is doing and how them being a part of your organization is making a difference. You're also going to want to make sure that you are sending at least 2 to 3 asks for support via email every month. It's really important that your donors hear from you multiple times because they're not opening every email that you send. In fact, they may only be opening 1 or 2, and they may only be reading the top 1 or 2 sentences. So make sure that those emails have your call to action to make a gift really front and center. A lot of email systems allow you to create a colored button. You could create a header at the top. Really make sure that your call to action to make a gift is really clear what you're asking them to do. Make sure that email is short and sweet too. You want to agitate the problem and let them know that by them making a gift, they can be part of the solution, but you don't want to have them scroll and scroll and scroll through an email because they simply won't do it. So again, make sure it's short and sweet. Make sure your call to action to make a gift is really clear. And non-negotiable, make sure you have emails landing in your donors' inboxes, text to perhaps if you have that capability, on December 30th and 31st. Historically, these are the biggest giving days of the year, and you want to make sure that you are in the mix so that your donors are hearing from you. If you have the capability to remove people who have already made a gift to your year-end campaign so that they're not getting all of the reminder emails about making a gift, that is a wonderful addition. It really helps your donors know that you personally know them and that you're grateful for the gift that they already made. Number 2, write a direct mail fundraising letter. This is so important. Donors still give more, according to the data, by direct mail than they do online. And even if they are giving online, getting that hard physical copy of an ask for support really can help boost your online giving numbers too. Make sure you're writing a really emotionally engaging appeal letter. Typically, these are 3 to 4 pages. Include a color photo and make sure that it has multiple asks for support in it and tells a story about the impact their gift is going to have. There are lots of tutorials online about writing effective direct mail letters. If you need help in that area, look online. I'll try to post another video about that as well. But this is definitely a step that you're going to want to implement for your year-end campaign. Organizations are sending out their direct mail letters earlier and earlier every year to try to beat the crowds. I would recommend that your letter land at the end of October or the very beginning of November, and again, another letter in December. You may not have the resources to send 2 letters to everyone in your database, and I get that. There are lots of ways that you can segment your donors to make sure you're reaching the best people with that December letter. It might be that you sort your mailing list by people who typically give by direct mail, or maybe you're sorting a certain segment of people who give more often or who gave more recently. There's lots of ways to segment your list to make it effective. The other thing that I would make sure that you build in to your plans for this direct mail is the length of time it takes to actually get these to land in mailboxes. It is going to take you longer than you expect, I promise you. It often takes 3, 4, 6 weeks for a print and mail house to go through the approval process with you, make edits if they're needed, to print the letters, to stuff the envelopes, and to get them in the mail. And then remember, if you're mailing through a bulk nonprofit rate, those mailing days can be longer than expected. It's not like a first class stamp. Sometimes they take 2 or 3 weeks to actually land in mailboxes. So if you want to get your letter in the mail by the end of October, beginning of November, you're going to want to build back from that date and make sure that you have your letter to your print and mail house very early. Number 3, create an organization newsletter that you can send to everybody who is also going to receive your appeals. This is a really important piece and really helps let donors know the impact that they're having. And it doesn't have to be overcomplicated. It can be a 4-page newsletter that you send out to a certain segment of your donors if your organization doesn't have a really robust budget for these kinds of things. Make sure that in this newsletter you have some articles that relate to the theme of your appeal campaign so that you're just building on that theme and talking about the problem, talking about how your organization and your supporters are helping to solve that problem. This is going to help boost your year-end appeal when they then get an ask for support around those same topics. Make sure that you have color, visually appealing photos in that newsletter as well. Very important for people who engage more visually instead of reading a bunch of text. Also, non-negotiable in this newsletter is to include a little short article. It could even just be a call out box about other ways to give to your organization. Especially at year end, people are thinking about giving through their donor advised funds, through gifts of appreciated stock, and in other ways. So letting your donors know that that is an option for them with your organization is really important right now. And I would recommend that this letter hit in October or November. Again, you want people to hear about the impact they can have and about what your organization is doing early on in the process of when they're making their year-end giving decisions. Number 4, create a holiday card and send it to your most committed donors. This can be your board of directors, your advisory board if you have one, members of your legacy giving program, other significant partners for your work, and your major and mid-level donors. Make sure they're hearing from you with a note of gratitude aside from all those asks for support at this time of year. I often see organizations and have recommended that people send this out in November around the Thanksgiving holiday instead of waiting until the holiday season in December when many people have already made their giving decisions. Number 5, create a short list of people that you are going to reach out to personally, whether that's a personal email, a personal letter, a personal phone call. Reaching out to people and engaging with them one-on-one is so important, especially when it comes to people who are making big investments into your organization. Remember, this work is all about relationships. So even if it's 5 people that you or your executive director, maybe your board of directors can help reach out to personally, it makes a huge difference, not only for this campaign, but for all the future campaigns that you're going to be involved in. Building relationships is key, and this is one of the best times to do it. Because trust me, other organizations are reaching out to those donors one-on-one, and you want to be in that mix. And number 6, this is absolutely non-negotiable. Make sure your thank you letter and process is ready to roll. This step is equally as important to all the work you're going to put into actually making the ask. We see every year that retention rates for organizations, that means donors that are staying year after year, is below 50%. That's crazy. This means that organizations are losing thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars every year. A lot of times this happens because organizations haven't done a great job at letting that person know that their gift was appreciated or letting them know the impact that their gift has had. Thanking somebody within 24 to 48 hours of their gift giving is so crucial. This is really going to make a difference for all of your future campaigns, and you're going to start to learn about your donors and perhaps find people who want to get deeper engaged with you. Don't overcomplicate it. A lot of your donors are going to get a form letter. You can create that form letter to really reflect the theme of your year-end appeal. But for a segment of donors who are making bigger investments in your organization, I would recommend handwriting a letter as well. You don't have to do it right away. If you send them the form letter, you can wait a week or two to send out that handwritten letter. Or if you're just slammed and you can't get to it till January, not the best, but that's okay too. Let them know if they're making gifts of 1,000 or more, especially if you're at a smaller organization, that their gift has a huge impact on the work that you do and that you are really grateful for them. Okay, everybody. I hope these 6 things are helpful to you and your organization. I promise you it's not too late to get started, and there are a lot of resources out there to help. Set aside a day in your calendar to think through these 6 steps and make plans for moving forward. If you found something in this video that you find useful or you want to learn more about, please consider giving it a like. Maybe follow me for more content like this in the future. It is so encouraging to me personally and allows me to create more free content like this so that we can all be better fundraisers and not burn out. Thanks, everybody. Happy year-end fundraising season.